The growth of the local economy of nations is dependent greatly, among others, on local production and local patronage. The ongoing trade war across the globe calls for nations to look inward to turn threats to opportunities. Nations with population strength like Nigeria, experts note, can take the opportunity to invest in local production to bring about import substitution, which has also been noted to foster job creation, reduce cost of production, as well as increase the gross domestic product. Nigeria, for years, has been encouraging patronage of made in Nigeria products to bring about the aforementioned desirables. These has also been met with several challenges. How well is Nigeria faring in this journey to produce what she consumes and vice versa? This is the crux of our discourse on this edition of Dateline 360. I'm Omotola Omojola. Thanks for tuning in. A land of promise, rich in natural resources, steeped in culture and bursting with youthful talents, Nigeria is a pride for Africa. In spite of these noted merits and promise in the soul of a nation with diverse reserve and capacities, the urge for foreign items appear insatiable for many Nigerians. Investigating particularly consumable items, Iyabo Waleri in Lagos seeks to know if it is a function of mindset or is it indeed true that foreign products is preferable to made in Nigeria.
Nigeria is a country blessed with natural resources and brimming with talent, from the textile industry to agricultural products. In a nation known for its creativity, resilience, and rich culture, the made in Nigerian products should be thriving within the economy. Unfortunately, local products often struggle to find their footing in the market, largely dominated by imports. To get a clear picture of Nigeria's high demand for imports, the need to assess the country's annual import bill for food alone, which is approximately $20 billion, must be emphasized. Despite the scarcity of forex and the excessively high exchange rate, especially in the black market, Nigerians are not showing any signs of cutting down on their appetite for imports. Modern shopping malls are springing up almost everywhere across the state, but bulk of items on their shelves are imported, as quite a number of imported foods are produced locally. The local ones hardly catch the fancy of consumers. Ask the ordinary man or woman on the street why this is so, and this is what you get.
Foreign goods are better than local goods because when they are producing their goods, they have a standard.
If you have not ever been abroad, you will think your home is the best in the whole world. But once you travel abroad, you see all the facilities that you have never seen in life. You realize that you are seeing an upcoming, or let me say you are still developing. But it's not, doesn't mean the foreign product is better than yours. But it only gives you an idea of how you can also step up your own.
I prefer locally manufactured goods because first, it helps to promote the economy of the country. Secondly, even in terms of food, is organic and is health-wise. Just that we don't appreciate what we have, because naturally God has blessed us with good natural resources.
As it is now, it's not about preferences, it's about quality. I don't have preferences, because when you start to have preferences, you must have the money to buy your preferences, what you like. So now it's either I go for the one that is quality. If you say shoe like the one I'm wearing here is a handmade, it's a Nigerian made shoe.
To understand the perspective for these behavioral trends in terms of quality, sustainable government policies and pricing, experts weigh in.
You must have power. There must be accessible roads for goods and services that are manufactured to be conveyed, transported to destinations of where they will be needed. Go to the hinterland, to rural communities who have crops, who produce agricultural products. We need to move them up to the hinterland. But today, there's no road to access them. So as a result of that, we deny both our local farmers, our local artisans, what they should do and improve in their skills? Is it in farming? Improve in their farming. Is it in the craft? Improve on whatever thing you are doing so that you can make it better.
You know, a typical Nigerian wants something from abroad. They want a foreign product. So we should try and change our mentality about getting foreign-made products. We should try and patronize the locally made ones. We can do what they want, but the problem is they are not ready to buy. So somebody will tell you, I want something from Italy, I want something from France, I want something from... But all these products can be made in Nigeria, and they can get it. But the issue is the patronage. Let Nigeria have this culture of patronizing their locally made products.
The use of standards does not just apply to locally made goods, as quite a number of goods flawed in the Nigerian market are also substandard, with no proper checks at the point of entry into the local market, where these items are sold for prices far less than local ones. The government is pushing Nigerians to look inwards through the Made in Nigeria movement.
It's not a sin to patronize foreign products, but we will continue. It's a competitive world. We will continue to make our people understand that you have to be proud of your own. Whatever you do for yourself, by yourself, is the best for you.
The country's procurement laws have been amended, making it compulsory for government ministries and agencies to buy made-in-Nigeria goods in order to grow local industries and save the country's foreign reserves. But a lot more still needs to be done to get an average Nigerian to think more of home than abroad when it comes to consumption habits. For Deadline 360, Iyabo Wale Eri.
Another essential that sees foreign preference are automobiles. The industry in recent time has made commendable progress, creating values and contributing to the economic growth of Nigeria. Considering impact of patronage of locally manufactured vehicles on the economy, Daniel Ukpai visited a major plant to show how viable it is.
Nigeria remains Africa's largest automobile market with an average annual growth rate of 3% over the last decades. Activities on the industry commenced around 1950 with the assembly of major brands such as Volkswagen and Peugeot in partnership with the Nigerian government, which dominated the market till the 1980s. A downturn in the economy and high manufacturing costs led to a significant fall in production output, with most consumers turning to foreign used cars as a result. However, since the inception of the Automotive Industry Development Plan in 2014, there has been a renewed interest in local production. Major car brands in partnership with private companies have commenced assembly and distribution in Nigeria. In Anambra State, Innocent Vehicle Manufacturing is leading frontiers in the automobile industry with production of more than 35,000 cars per year and creating more than 5,000 direct and indirect job opportunities.
We are Innocent Vehicle Manufacturing, not assembling. We are doing manufacturing. That's why we can be able to manufacture engine with petrol, motor with engine that can use petrol. Also, we can manufacture motor can use battery, that means the electric motor. We can manufacture also CNG vehicles because we are doing the body, so we can source the engine or the battery or the electric from any source.
A visit to the first indigenous vehicle manufacturing company reveals that the economic impact of patronizing locally manufactured vehicles are immeasurable.
I believe that some of the state governments are now understanding it. Some of them are doing well. They are trying to buy local maize.
Despite inherent economic benefits of patronizing locally made vehicles, there are some factors militating against consumers' preference for made-in-Nigerian cars.
If they make it mandatory that we use our own product here, I think that will be the best thing.
So the cost aspect of it, and then the maintenance. I appreciate the effort of Nigerians who want to venture in such huge capital things like Innocent and others, but they need a lot of support from government. Because if government is giving them necessary support, the cost of the vehicles will be low. And then some policies will be put in place.
It will grow our economy quite all right. It will encourage our local contractors. You know, when we begin to encourage our local contractors, they produce more. and it will have a multiplier effect on our economy.
Meanwhile, the vehicle manufacturing company is already working on what will be said to be the largest vehicle manufacturing in Africa, with its attendant job opportunities while meeting local and international demands.
Daniel Okbai for Deadline 360.
From the 1980s, Aba began to show potentials in manufacturing of wares that served different classes of society. Though shunned by many as low quality at the time, the craftsmen were untiring, and today, Aba-made shoes and clothes are reaching heights never imagined. Aba makes Nigeria proud by exporting a blend of culture and elegance in its fashion designs typical of the Nigerian brand. Ikechukwu Ndukwe tells us about the fashion creative industry in Aba and how it is faring moving from consumption to production.
Aba is strategically located in the middle of the southeast and the Niger Delta, having boundaries with Enugu, Imo, Akwa Ibom, Cross River and River States, and houses the second biggest market in West Africa. The city is also reputed for craftsmanship, which has over the years attracted foreign patronage.
If you look behind me, you will see clothing materials. What is so prominent in Abia State is the display of wares, materials for clothing. In just a jiffy, we'll be going up. Just follow me and see what this material becomes.
80% of our customers are outside the country. They buy from us, and the standard so far is acceptable, both in Cameroon, Liberia, Sierra Leone, UK, US. People buy from us and without complaint. So when you give your order, we give you exactly what you have ordered for, and it's required giving more. So as you can see, we have a lot of products here that is going outside the country. Even today, we are sending to Liberia, are sending to Cameroon, depending on your order. So once they even buy to sell, because our products are genuine enough to resell there. Just like, because what we are looking up to is to make Africa and Nigeria the main place to produce all those clothes and send all over the world.
Correct kind concept beyond clothing and the great shoes are some industries exporting made in Aba products, especially within the African continent, with massive demands cutting across Africa, Arab nations, and Europe.
The products we're making here have attracted people within Nigeria, outside Nigeria, like I mentioned few countries, like Benin Republic, Chad, Cameroon, and some customers trust us from Arab. So they have been coming because of the high quality we are producing here, and we haven't received any bad news.
On the perception of made in Aba wares, stakeholders say it is impressive even as they struggle to meet up with demands.
African fashion style is something that is acceptable all over the world because Africans are everywhere in the world. So we have clients in the UK, we have clients in the US, we have clients in Canada, we have clients all over Africa. As a matter of fact, just last week, we had a delegation from Cameroon that came into Nigeria for our work. So we supplied and they picked it up last week. So acceptability is very high because we are very good at what we do. And a very big brand like ours, we ensure that the quality of our products are top notch. We pay attention to details.
Nigeria joined 53 nations in Africa to sign the African Continental Free Trade Area in 2019, which has boosted business opportunities even here in Abia State. Aba alone in 2019 contributed to the nation's GDP about $1.9 billion. If I tell you how much it is in 2025, you will marvel. Industry players are, however, calling on government to engage more countries, especially Europe and America, in signing business agreements to widen their scope of business coverage. In Aba, Ike Chukundukwe for Dateline 360.
Now let's talk about another set of wares, those that celebrate the soul of Nigerian cultures, typical and indigenous. They are not just fashion pieces, but cultural legacies passed on from generation to generation. From time immemorial, the ancient city of Kano prides itself in promoting traditional fashion designs, with kofarmata being the hub. There, different colors and designs are produced from the dye pits. Yahanasu Hassan Barau takes a look at this age-old heritage which defies modern trends to remain relevant in the world of arts and crafts.
Kofarmata is one of the ancient gates surrounding Kano Old City, a renowned area for dyeing. The occupants of this area are among early settlers of Kano, and dyeing has been their occupation. There are 144 pits established more than 500 years ago and still relevant in today's world of arts and crafts. It is a heritage the people are unwilling to abandon despite modernity. Malam Sani Ibrahim, a 45-year-old, is among those who retain dyeing as business and heritage. He said he takes pride any moment he happens to be at this pit. These historical relics not only provides jobs for the great-grandchildren of Kofarmata, but it is also a tourist attraction.
I
am happy with the job. In fact, I am not after government job. Recently, the First Lady Remi Tinubu said she will support our business.
I am calling the local people of Nigeria to come back to buy our own production.
More importantly, tourists are fascinated with the genuinity of these people and their tenacity in upholding their culture despite the world being a global village.
Here in the heart of Kano, tradition hangs in the air. Quite literally, these fabrics dyed by hand using centuries-old techniques are more than clothes. They are symbols of identity, artistry, and resilience.
However, dyeing in Kano, like other developing cities, is being threatened by importation of substandard clothing materials, which is gradually crippling the local initiative and undermining the nation's economy.
We thank God as the market existed before even our parents, and we are now taking part in trading in this market.
The good news is that Kano State government is not taking this trade lightly, but is taking a more proactive approach in providing shock absorbers for the local entrepreneurs to remain afloat.
And we can admit youths and train them in skills that will make them competitive and productive.
In Kano, Yahana Hassan Barau, reporting for Deadline 360.
From Kano, we go to Abeokuta, home of Adire fabrics, which is one of Nigeria's distinctive textile crafts with an embodiment of the Yoruba history, culture, and inventiveness. Yemi Dalemo, in this next report, examines this made in Nigeria brand, which is not just a vogue in modern Nigerian fashion, but also craved internationally.
Welcome to Itoku in Abeokuta, the heart of Adire production in Nigeria. For centuries, the people of Abeokuta have perfected the art of creating a unique, beautiful, and functional Adire textiles. Adire is more than just a textile. It is part of our culture and heritage.
The art of Adire production has been passed from generation to generation, with each maker adding their own unique touch. The Adire industry has a significant impact in the local economy, providing employment and income for people in Abeokuta and beyond. Sellers of the high-quality Adire and Kampala fabrics note that the demand for Adire products is high, both locally and internationally, helping them to earn a living and promoting the Nigerian culture and heritage.
It's because of the love I have for African-made prints, Adire, and we ensure that we do them by ourselves. When we want to do the African prints, like we ensure that, okay, when we want to do the Adire, we start from scratch, we make them, and that is the reason why we started the whole lot of this, because of the love we have for African prints.
It's actually something that I use my hand to say, this is what I want, this is how I want it, and it's being crafted for me. So that is why I love it, because I know who is doing it for me. I can assess the person, and I can take it from that person the way I want it.
One of the major challenges we are facing in this industry has to do with raw materials, because most of the time we always find it difficult to get quality and affordable raw materials. Even we travel as far as Far East to get material, far north to get raw materials for most of the things we do. And another problem we are having is this intellectual theft. You know, these things has to do with intellectual, where you have to reason to bring out a design, and before you know it, bringing out that design, before you know it, in a couple of weeks you see such designs in a pirated one. So it kills the creativity in you.
Adire is not just a fashion statement, it is a symbol of cultural identity and heritage. The recently concluded Lishabi Festival in Abeokuta showcased the beauty of Adire and Ashoke, indigenous textile of the Egba people, celebrated for their rich history and intricate designs. Local designers played a significant role by presenting the fabrics innovatively, demonstrating their versatility and potential in the global fashion scene. Ogun State government say the originality and quality of the locally made Adire will be further promoted while also protecting and preserving the culture of the people for economic growth and development.
So the patronage is very high, but what governor is trying to do now is to, at least we want to locate a fabric company here in Ogun State that will make it more easier for them, more accessible for them, so that they can sell it as an affordable rate. Because they are importing those fabric, and before they import, they clear and put their own design on it. That is why the price goes up.
The art of Adire is a true representation of Nigerian creativity and innovation. Therefore, the need for Nigerians to continue to support and promote made-in-Nigerian products like Adire to celebrate the rich cultural heritage of the country.
From Itoku in Abeokuta, Yemi Dalimo for Dateline 360.
As emphasized at the beginning of the program, it is all about making it count economically. Benny Adams now gives an insight into efforts of the government at encouraging local production, particularly for micro, small and medium enterprises.
In the vibrant markets of Nigeria, a new dawn is breaking. Obinna Shedrack, a young entrepreneur, is at the forefront of a revolution that is redefining the country's manufacturing sector. With a passion for creating locally made clothes that showcase Nigeria's rich cultural heritage, Obinna is part of a growing movement that is putting the country's industrial prowess back on the map.
The machines are too expensive. They are too cost for our members. And here are hubs that were being created by Smeden for our members to benefit freely.
It's a very nice space for a youth like me to come and improve my knowledge more.
In the mid-1980s, Nigeria's textile industry was the envy of many, with more than 450,000 people working tirelessly to meet the demand for Nigerian-made textiles. The industry's contribution to the GDP was significant, accounting for 8% of the country's economic output. Manufacturing had become a driving force behind Nigeria's economic diversification, reducing the country's reliance on agriculture.
I tell you, to have an exclusive mall of purely made in Nigerian products and to aggregate all those entrepreneurs, they have a place to bring in. And we will now prioritize the patronage of using public money to buy from those outlets. And government can give incentives, waivers directly to the citizens that are involved in it.
However, like a fleeting dream, the glory days of Nigerian manufacturing began to fade. Cheap imports flooded the market, making local products uncompetitive. The infrastructure that once supported the industry began to crumble, with inconsistent power supply and poor transportation networks increasing production cost. While the decline of local cotton production and high cost of imported raw materials made it difficult for manufacturers to stay afloat.
Revive the power sector, reduce the dependency of power sector from the national grid, create opportunity for small-scale industry.
There's constant lights, there is, all the facilities we need, like machines, different kinds of machines. I came and I discovered that it's true. And since then, I've been enjoying it, and I've not even gone back to my shop.
But Obinna's determination and passion for creating locally made clothes never wavered. With the government's renewed focus on promoting made-in-Nigeria products, Obinna's business began to thrive. The government's initiatives, including single-digit interest rate loans, industrial parks, and import bans, created an enabling environment for manufacturers like Obinna to flourish.
What I'm wearing today is Nigerian, so we're Nigerian. So all these sectors in hides and skin, leather, garments and apparel, we're also going to focus on them to make sure that they can grow and expand.
Obinna's success is a beacon of hope for the future of Nigeria's manufacturing sector, and a reminder that with the right support and policies, the country's industrial prowess can be revived and thrive. In Abuja, Benny Adams for Deadline 360.
The watchword is to think Nigeria, buy Nigeria, and sell Nigeria, for Nigeria to take a pride of place in global trades while raising the GDP. Did I hear you say, yes, I'll do? Thanks for that thought, and a bigger appreciation for staying with us. I am Omotola Omojola. God bless Nigeria.